What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. We are going to talk about everything Knicks and how they collapsed. 98, 94. Not really a collapse, but just a heartbreak, man. I was in the arena, man. I saw the heartbreak. It was bad. It was very bad, but we can talk about it. I took a day off. I went to sleep. I woke up, and I'm gonna write some notes down. I wrote some notes down. So I'm first talking about Deuce McBride and what he did for the Knicks. He had 20 points, I think, last night. About that, yeah, 20 points for the New York Knicks. Really put the team kind of on his back per se, and he was just getting bucket after bucket, just setting people up. Maybe he only had one like assist, but it felt like he was just, really creating. But I feel like this is just, a one-time thing, which is fine. I mean, we don't expect him to have 20 every single game, but other people are supposed to show up. I'm gonna start by, you know, starting with Isaiah Hartenstein. Maybe I should start with Randall, but Isaiah Hartenstein's getting into foul trouble. Just let everybody. Everybody probably thinks that, like, oh, they need Mitchell Robinson back so bad because the paint was wide open. No, because Isaiah Hartenstein was just fouling everything. Like, it was just awful to watch him just reach down and foul. I mean, there was Tom Thibodeau was going crazy on the side. They having to bring pressures in every single second of the game. It just wasn't good. Shout out Precious. He's another thing, but you know, it was just hard to watch. Him play over Isaiah Hartenstein because Isaiah Hartenstein was fouling, and it just left the paint wide open. Um, Julius didn't show up. That's how blunt I'm gonna show it. That's how blunt I'm gonna tell it to you. He just didn't show up. He just didn't show up today, and I mean he didn't show up yesterday, and that's it. That's it. He just didn't want to show up. He hurt his ankle. He could have just been like, okay, I'm now gonna facilitate, but nah, he just tried to chuck up shots and it just didn't work. It doesn't work with him dribbling the basketball, and that's why you have a point guard. And that's what the Knicks were missing. Yes, Deuce McBride's great, but I don't think he can create his own shot like that. Um, but Julius' effort is also terrible. I mean, he misses a shot. He walks back on defense. He walked back on defense on the Paulo Banchero pull up, which kind of made it 3 points, which kind of took the game out of the wind out of the sails. For me personally, just pull up jumper from Paulo Banchero. Just game kind of, and Julius was just walking and was just watching the offensive rebound and just watching it, calling it the Marco Fold get that offensive rebound, or Jalen Suggs, and then they threw it out to freaking Paulo Banchero. He stepped into a jump shot, nailed it. Um, but some of that stuff you just cannot have, and he just did that, and he just stared at it rather than just maybe check Paulo Banchero, or maybe go try to triple team the ball so the ball doesn't get to Paulo. I mean, you just try to do anything, just look alive. Like, didn't look like he didn't look alive. Um, but Grimes needs to play more. I feel like he just needs to. Because of you know quickly not being here. We need something. We need something before we make a move. Before we make this move, we need something. And Quentin Grimes playing about like 10 minutes just doesn't work. And I know Thibodeau bring out Josh Hart a lot. He took him out, but why did DiVincenzo automatically go in? Can we see some Grimes over DiVincenzo just a little bit? I mean, just a little bit. I know DiVincenzo's great, but can we just see a little Grimes over DiVincenzo? I mean, that's just ridiculous to me. That's just ridiculous. Um, Grimes played a whopping 13 minutes. So, I don't know why, like, I don't know why DiVincenzo played, like 24. I think he should have played like about 20, and it's just and then the Quentin Grimes should have played like 15 or something, and then maybe take off Josh Hart's minutes. 23 minutes for Josh Hart was not good at all. I mean, 4 and 6 is terrible from the field. He just he just when he's not shooting the basketball, he's not respected. He's not respected at all. He just ruins the spacing when he can't shoot. He ruins it. He ruins it. He has to be a transition, rebound, push the ball type player. When that doesn't work, what do you do? Because that just cannot be your only skill set. That can't, because you can't play basketball if that's your only skill set. That doesn't work now. When he's knocking on the three, yes, he's playable. But in this game, he cannot be played. He just cannot. There's no reason why he's playing more than Quentin Grimes. There's no reason why he's playing more than There's no reason why he's playing more than um why he's playing more than why he's playing only 1 minute less than DiVincenzo. There's no reason. DiVincenzo has 24 minutes, he had 23. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. Why is he playing? Like, do you have a tie to him that like did you give his contract up that you need to play that Thibodeau's gonna play you this amount of minutes for you to sign this contract? I don't know, man. This is just you can't play that guy. You just can't. You just can't. And I've seen Thibodeau just not play people. And if you feel like you can't play Josh Hart, I don't care what the name on the back of jersey is. If it's Hart, if it's Flynn, I don't care. If he cannot shoot today, don't play him. If it's Taco Fall, if his last name's Fall, I don't care. If he can't shoot today, then he can't shoot. If his last name's James, if he's not playing good basketball, then he can't play. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Um, I would say OG, I know we playing like about 40 something minutes is fine by me, but pump the brakes. I mean, Paulo just was our own. Paulo was the only threat. Now we think Julius can do something while OG sits on Paulo. I mean, hold him to 20, yes, is great, but you don't need to give up 44 minutes. I know maybe that was what was needed, but I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, yes, that comes down to just Josh Hart not playing a game of basketball at all yesterday, and having OG be pushed minutes. But you have other players who can play Quitting Grimes more. Like these are opportunities where you can play Quitting Grimes more than Josh Hart. You can sit DiVincenzo more. Like those are the type of things you can maybe like mess around with the minutes while you sit Josh Hart. Um, that could have been better, but a 44 minutes for OG. I know he had 70 boards, shot the ball very well, but it's just like one rebound, two rebounds. It just isn't well. I mean, he was playing great defense, but I mean, whatever he wants to get paid this offseason, I'm not. That might be a video in itself. Like that, that's kind of crazy. Whatever he's gonna ask for, but DiVincenzo didn't have a good game, which kind of is like a difference because like if DiVincenzo had a good game, then maybe we'd come out with a win. But you can't expect somebody like DiVincenzo to play great every single game, like great. Like that's just you cannot expect that if you're a Knicks fan. You just can't. So you have to expect other players to show up other than Deuce McBride. You just cannot have that happen. Shout out to Deuce McBride, thriving on the opportunity. Love him. Um, you know, Brunson is so important. He's not just important. Well, I'm gonna go down to the last 2 minutes of this basketball game. The last 2 minutes of this basketball game, the Knicks couldn't score. They just couldn't. Maybe they scored once or twice on like a free throw, but they just could not score. Deuce McBride's great, but it's just there's no shot creator here. There's no one to put other people in the places they want to be. Like, Julius wants to be in the post. Well, you know where Brunson's directing Julius to the post instead of Julius just doing handoffs at the top of the key. This don't work. That's gonna get easily snuffed out by Jamal Mosley and crew because they're really good at this defensive stuff. They're really good at adjustments. I mean, Jamal Mosley is one of the best coaches I think I've seen with my own two eyes. I mean, the way he can just communicate to their defense, he's great. And the way the Magic can play defense and the way just they have players who can just swarm you is just amazing. But, besides that, it's just like there's no shot creator. There's none. And it's absolutely none. Um, and I think it's also because you don't have Jalen Brunson, but it's also because like Deuce McBride has 20 years. You're hoping Deuce McBride to come up with the clutch. It's not his thing right now. You have to give the ball to Julius Randle, and Julius Randle is so schemable when he just can dribble the basketball all around. Like you're just gonna stay on him. You're not gonna switch any pick and rolls. You're not scared to let him shoot. I mean, it's just awful. I mean, it's when he's shooting the 3-point shot like this, then Randle's just so schemable, especially without Jalen Brunson. Um, what Jalen Brunson would do is not even just score for himself. He'd be like, okay, I'm gonna penetrate this defense because all this defense is gonna look at me, and I just give DiVincenzo a light second to like shoot the ball. He's gonna knock that 3-point down, but it's just DiVincenzo to create more. Like it was just all that, and Jalen Brunson would have slowed down this basketball, either got a bucket for himself or put Julius Randle on the post, got himself a mismatch, or got into the paint, penetrated the defense and threw it out to Dante or threw it out to Hart or threw it out to OG and then the 3 point would be knocked out, but just none of that. It was all tough shots at the end of the game. And you can credit that to the Magic defense. I still Brunson was there. I think it would be more of just a Brunson show because everybody else couldn't get it. Like the Magic defense was so suffocating, and that's what they hang their hat on. And again, the Knicks held the team over 100, and they need to. They need to hold the Magic under 100 of this game to give themselves a chance. And just the missed free throws at the end also stink. Um, you know, uh, I I just think Brunson's just so important in this type of game. Just get out the way. I'm gonna get you a bucket. I don't care. Anthony Black on me. I don't care who's on the back of that jersey. It could be LeBron. It could be Kawhi. It could be Leonard on the back of that jersey. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna give him a bucket. We just didn't have that player today, and it just can't work against this Magic team. We're just so good defensively. You need that player to just close him out. Against the Magic, that's why teams like you get close with teams like the Kings. You have a De'Aaron Fox to close the Magic out, but the Magic just are so good defensively. You need that A1 type player, that like a Fox, like a Halliburton, like a Brunson, who we have. Um, but you see that type of player, and you just cannot roll the ball to Randall when he's shooting 5 for 14 and have him chuck up a three. That's not good basketball. That's not good basketball at all. What would I do? I would say Portland. You know what? You want M40. I know you don't care about cap space because you're not doing anything in the free agency. You don't really need to do anything. So here's a first round pick to accelerate your rebuild a little bit. And then here's Evan Fournier, and you can give us Malcolm Brogdon. The guy would help us a lot. You don't really need him anymore because you have Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson's starting to get hot. Scoot Henderson's starting to get himself in his own. He took a little bit of time, but he's getting himself in his own. I know Malcolm Brogdon is a great mentor, but you could still have mentors around the locker room who could help you. Evan Fournier is a great mentor. I'm not even just trying. Like Evan Fournier is a great mentor. He can teach you shoot. Like Scoot Henderson's not a good shooter right now, but he can get better with somebody like Evan Fournier teaching him the ways, and then you get a first round pick. And that first round pick could turn out to be anything. Like that's just a wild card type pick, and then you give up Malcolm Brogdon, who's going to stall up the minutes for these other players. I know it gives you a better chance to win for the Portland Trailblazers, but it's just like, what's the point of winning? Like you're not winning. Um, Anyway, so it's like, what do you want to do? Like, that's my type of thing where you just go to Portland and you're like, why do you have Malcolm Brogdon? Like, what's the point? Like, what are you doing with Malcolm Brogdon right now? That's just like, why do you need him? Like, what's your kind of direction with Malcolm Brogdon? Because right now they lost again to the Suns by about 9, and it just didn't look good here. Malcolm Brogdon didn't play. He didn't play. He did not DND, which I don't even know what that means. But you know, hey, hey, New York, Malcolm Brogdon makes sense. It's not like giving up 2 first round picks for DeJounte Murray and giving up Quentin Grimes and trying to get back Clint Capella. Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. Why do we have to make that big time move right now for somebody like DeJounte Murray? We don't need to. It's the same. I don't trust DeJounte Murray with Jalen Brunson. It's too much my turn, your turn. But I wouldn't be mad, depending on the price. But I know that Malcolm Brogdon's price would be a little bit lower, so you could just throw it M48 at first. I just really don't want to give it Quentin Grimes, and also just there's no point. What do you do with Deuce now? Like, do you just throw him on the bench again? I just don't know. I don't know. That's Tom Thibodeau issue, but I think definitely you need something like a Malcolm Brogdon. So that's gonna do it for this video. Have a nice day, and let's go Knicks. Hopefully we pick up the W at home against Houston.